Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 162 on my countdown to retirement. So, this morning, the auction for the 17-week T-bill uh, that was announced went off at 11 o'clock. I was able to get an investment rate of 4.344%, which is down slightly from the last 17-week T-bill auction that went off at an investment rate of 4.35. But still happy with that. And that purchase got me back to a 70-30 allocation in my IRA and an 80-20 in my Roth. So I was happy with that. And as I indicated, that those come due at the end of November. So I'll be able to have cash should I need it to start the new year off as a retired individual. So that's awesome. Then I had placed a good till canceled order on the Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF, the DIA, a while back, with the end date being the end of August. Since things usually start going south in August and into September, it's a seasonally not a very good period. Anyway, today it reached within 4 points of its all-time record, and I ended up liquidating half of my position in that particular ETF so that I could take the proceeds from that and reallocate them into other ETFs that I want to take advantage of, that I believe have a better longer term performance, at least, so that I won't have to do rebalancing as often once I'm retired. So I'll be able to put those into specific sectors or themes that I think are better than just the broad Dow 30, which, given different issues with things like Cisco and Boeing and other large industrials, if you will, that I'm less enthused about these days. Anyway, I took care of that, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then I logged on to the SSA Gov site and got my latest Social Security benefit statement to see kind of where I am and what the projections are. And at full retirement age, they're projecting that I'll get $3,866 a month. And if I defer until I'm 70, I get almost $1,000 more per month at $4,823. Now, my plan is to defer until I'm 70 because that would give my wife the greatest spousal benefit in the event that I pass, and also if I defer till then, her current rate should increase to be half of my rate, which is greater than what she's getting now. So that would be a windfall when we're both alive. That being said, I really don't think that those numbers are going to hold because they take your top 35 years adjusted for inflation, and I won't be working for the next 5 years, so that's going to be 5 zeros added into the mix of my my work history, and so I fully expect that the number is going to be less than that, but that's what they're currently projecting, so whatever. Then I updated Bolden with a couple of one-time expenses that are important that I forgot about. So, I've got all the various things in there about travel and about home repairs and a new car and all that. But what I forgot was when we die, burial expenses. So I went and put in one-time expenses, which were that I budgeted at $15,000 each in current dollars. That'll be adjusted for inflation going forward, and put that to correspond with our longevity dates, which also corresponds with a life insurance policy payout that we would get that would effectively fund that or backfill savings. Either way, I mean, fundamentally, it would fund it. So. And before doing that, I had shopped around to try and get pricing 2 years ago on doing prepaids. And then I used Grok 3 AI Assistant using the same analysis that I had looked at a couple years ago to see if any of the costs had changed. And, pretty much they came back and said that the median cost for what we were looking for would be like 14,000 and change. So, I used the $15,000 number that I had looked at a couple of years ago. So that's how I came up with the numbers. And then Bolden is supposed to make changes on Friday that include the new tax rates and whatever, all the changes that were in the big beautiful bill are supposed to be incorporated by this Friday. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that's so, and then setting up an appointment next week if I can with one of the Bolden coaches to review my plan. If I can't make that work for whatever reason, their availability or whatever, then it'll get deferred until after I get back from my trip. So it'll be a mid-August kind of review instead. And then my mom texted me because she just got on, and I guess they're getting ready to sail away in a couple hours on the Regent Seven Seas Explorer out of Vancouver. And she sent me some pictures of her bathroom. Now, she sent me two different pictures because she couldn't get the whole view in. And then I kind of blended them two together, but the angle's off a little bit. But just so you can see, I'm going to show you the picture. She was so impressed with the bathroom on the cruise ship. Now, years ago, my mom was a travel agent, so she's been on tons of cruise ships using whatever they call it, IATA points or whatever. She used to get really reduced prices and go on cruises with my dad all the time. Anyhow, she was super impressed with this particular bathroom. She said she would have liked to have this bathroom at her house. But she also indicated, that there would be no way that my dad would have ever paid to have this particular room on a ship. So in her words, this is a once in a lifetime trip. So anyway, I hope she really enjoys herself. The next 7 days she'll be going all through the Inside Passage, and then at the end she's going to stay like an extra 3 days, I think, in Anchorage and do a whole bunch of activities up in that part of Alaska before flying on home. Anyway, that's my update for today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, hope you have a great evening, and until tomorrow, take care.